Hi world, it's me. So today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about obese versus skinny. So I have been both obese, like I am right now, and skinny, 124 pounds. So 124 pounds for me is skinny. It is a healthy weight, but it is way skinnier than 180 pounds, which is what I currently weigh in at. So I'm going to tell you how it felt. And there's a big difference between the two, and yet there is also a big similarity between the two. So I'm going to talk about that with you guys. So let's go. Alright, so you want to be skinny. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Maybe you don't. Now, there's a few good reasons why you would want to be skinny. Well, for one, are you trying to be skinny or are you trying to be healthy? Because there's a huge difference between being skinny and being healthy. Okay, I know skinny girls that only eat fries and sweets. That is not healthy. Yes, they're at a healthy weight, but they're not healthy. You understand what I'm saying? But, you can do, just eat less of what you're eating now if you already eat like that. That's a good method. But do you want to be healthy? Because that's a good reason why you should try to be skinnier. Well, if you have health problems, for example, that would be a good reason. There's many reasons, but I'm just talking here today about how it feels, because, I feel like being skinny or whatever is being glorified or whatever, and I've had experience with both. I've had experience being obese and being skinny, and I'm going to tell you something. Love yourself now, because if you don't, then you never will. And I know this because I've been skinny. If you've never been skinny, you don't know. So, the big difference between being obese and being skinny is that if you've been obese your whole life, like me pretty much, and then you suddenly get skinny, that's pretty much what happened to me when I was about 18, 19, you're gonna feel different. You're gonna feel like you're starving, because that's how I felt. I felt like I was fucking starving all the time. And no, it wasn't fun. And yes, I would only eat junk. And that's what I mean by, do you want to be skinny or do you want to be healthy? Because, you can be skinny and eat less, but you can be healthy and eat more healthy foods like salads. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole thing going on there, but I'm just talking about how it feels. So how it felt for me, going from obese to skinny. It might not be what you think. You might be going, oh yeah, you probably had so much more confidence, right? Absolutely not. I had no more confidence than I had than when I was obese. I had no more confidence. In fact, I still felt fat. That's right, I still felt fat at 124 pounds. Even though I went from 160 pounds to 124 pounds, I still looked in the mirror and said, oh, I'm so fat. Okay? And I was at a healthy weight. What does that tell you? It tells you that skinny is not going to fix your brain. Skinny is not going to make you have high self-esteem all of a sudden. Because that comes from practicing it every single day. Okay? You gotta practice it every single day. Because if you're not, then you will never have that self-esteem that you've always wanted. At least in my experience. Maybe you just dropped 50 pounds and went, oh yeah, I'm the best ever. Yeah, I don't know, that didn't happen for me. But, to each their own, maybe it happens to you, I don't know. But to me, in my experience, I'm telling you that it felt the same. Now, there were a few key differences. Like, growing up obese, You always have padding on your knees, right? I'm gonna show you my knees. You see how there's fat right here? Well, when you lose that fat and you're, not muscular, what is it? Bones? Well, there's a big difference between having fat and bones. So when fat touches each other, it feels like two little pillows. When bones touch each other, it physically hurts. And I mean that. My knees hurt. When I laid down and had my knees touch, it hurt. It did not feel comfortable. And I remember looking down at my bones right here and going, oh no, that's disgusting. I've always wanted to be skinny up to that point, and I finally did it, and I went, ew. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked down and saw bones going like this from my skin, and it was like a mountain of bones, and I was like, I don't think I like this. And that's my experience being skinny. Do I prefer being fat? Just a little bit. Not only am I mentally happier, not only do I have more confidence being obese, but I feel more energetic. Yes, I do. Do I go to the gym? Absolutely. Okay, do I eat lots of food I shouldn't eat? Absolutely. Do I have health problems? Yes, but I had them when I was skinny because I have a disease. I have Sjogren's. And that's not gonna, diet does help, but it won't get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to be skinny, maybe just try loving yourself first, and then do it. If you're having health issues, yeah, maybe you should try harder. Because, yeah, it's hard. But, sometimes, I'll sit and go, oh, I want to get rid of my flabby stomach. I didn't eat that much today. It's not as flabby as it was. But I had a baby. And now I have a loose, flabby stomach I never had. I always had, a pretty flat stomach. And now it's, flabby. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? It's, jiggling around. Why is it jiggling? I don't know. I never had a jiggly stomach until I gave birth. And I'm going to tell you something, after you give birth, you're really going to go, oh shit, I'm really jiggling and wiggling. Yes, you are, bitch. You're jiggling and wiggling. What are you going to do, huh? And you can be skinny and be jiggling and wiggling after you give birth to a baby. So maybe you just need to shut up. Anyway, I'm just saying, being skinny isn't everything for every individual person. There's people out there that go, oh, being skinny is the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, I'm glad. It's not the best thing that's ever happened to me. In fact, I felt disgusting. I felt like I was a bag of bones, and it hurt. And I genuinely mean that. I'm not joking. No offense to any skinny people out there. I'm not saying you're a bag of bones, but I'm saying that's how I felt about myself when I was skinny at a healthy weight of 124 pounds. I'm 5'2", by the way. Get off me, boy. So yeah, 124 is a healthy weight for 5'2". But anyway, I'm just saying, if you're gonna complain about your body when you're fat, then you're going to complain about it when you're skinny, because there's other factors such as loose skin. I had loose skin after I lost weight, and let me tell you, loose skin feels disgusting. It feels like there's ball sack tits hanging out. I don't want ball sack tits. I don't want ball sack thighs. I don't want a ball sack, double cheek, okay? You know what I'm saying? You like your cheeks. If you lose enough weight, you might have a little saggy ball sack underneath. Not that that happened to me, but I do have a double cheek on one cheek. That's for another day. But anyway, I'm just saying, love yourself unconditionally. If you have health problems, take the time to work on your diet, eat healthier. Try not to worry about the amount as much as what are you eating. If you're eating a bunch of fries and burgers, change that instead to healthy foods like salads in the same amount, okay? Fill yourself up with veggies and chicken, not fried chicken, grilled chicken. Okay, grilled chicken's one of the best meats for you, if not the best one, other than tuna probably. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, being skinny isn't everything. I've been skinny, I've been fat, I don't care. Either way, if you're on the internet, that's also another thing. If you're on the internet, they will make fun of you for anything. They will make fun of you. Sorry, my TV changed. I hate that. They will make fun of you for anything. They will make fun of you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this. They will make fun of you for having loose skin and losing a bunch of weight. They'll make fun of you for being too skinny. They'll make fun of you and they'll go, oh, well, I preferred you thicker. I didn't care what you preferred. Like, I really don't. So, what I'm saying is, who cares? I think what matters most is how you feel right now. Do you feel too fat? That's the question. Do you feel too fat? Do I feel too fat? Not quite. I mean, I feel like I could be healthier, but do I feel too fat in girth? You know, without the health, you know, no, not really. I feel fine. And that's how you should feel. You should feel fine in your own skin. And if you don't, then you should take the steps to change it. Like for me, I remember when I first started going to the gym, I hated going to the gym. I was like, I fucking hate this. Until I wanted to beat people up. And then I loved going to the gym. Because when I was 19, I was a little heathen. I wanted to... There's a whole story behind this. I wanted to beat people up. I wanted to kill people. I wanted to do all kinds of stuff to people. And I did. I was an awful person. But I mean, at the end of the day, I changed for the better. And now I have a baby and a beautiful boyfriend who loves me and everything. You know, people change. Don't, you know, just because you're going through something doesn't mean that, you know, it's the end of the world or whatever. Sorry, I'm trying to get some good lighting. I'm using my YouTube on my TV. That's how I do it. So, but yeah, what I'm saying is love yourself, because that's all that matters. I mean, as far as anything else is concerned, if we're not talking about health here, how you feel is the biggest factor. Okay, if you do have health problems, if you're like morbidly obese, like I said, change what you're eating. Look up healthy foods, eat those foods. Don't worry about the amount until you get used to it. And then maybe gradually, you know, eat less. But I would say eat as many vegetables, fruits, nuts, as much as that stuff as you want. Smoothies. And by smoothies, I don't mean McDonald's smoothies. I mean smoothies you make at home. Because McDonald's smoothies are not healthy. I'm just making that clear. But anyway, you know, just be you. Do you. So for me, being skinny, you know, I thought I'd feel the best ever. Did I feel more attractive? Maybe a little bit, but there were so many cons, like the starvation feeling and the bones touching. I just couldn't. I felt disgusted and I was in pain because when I laid down on my side like I always do, my knees would touch and it would physically hurt because I was not used to that. I was used to having padding on my knees, not bones touching. So when I felt my bones touch, I was like, this is disgusting. I felt like I had knobby knees. And I don't want knobby knees. I want a little bit of padding, so I'd rather be, you know, slightly overweight and eat healthy. Like I used to a few years ago, before I got pregnant, I would eat everything healthy and barely any carbs. and I would eat as much as I wanted, and yes, I was a little overweight, but I looked fantastic. Let me tell you, I looked absolutely fantastic, and I wish I could have that body back. I was so gorgeous and fit. Why the fuck did I do that? And now I'm obese. I'm obeser than ever. I gained like 35 pounds since then, but I was doing so good. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching my YouTube video. Hopefully I helped you get some confidence now. That's it. Practice self-love. I love you in the mirror. Say that. I love you. Don't feel guilty after eating. That's a big one. I never feel guilty after eating, ever. Never, because I love food and I don't have binge eating disorder anymore because I now no longer feel disgusting after eating. No, I love food, and food loves me. That's why it sticks to my body. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Maybe I helped you, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. How, if you were fat and skinny, what was your preference? You just feel the same either way? Because that's pretty much how I feel. I'm the same either way. Like, I feel like for some people it might change something, but for me it didn't. And I just was like, I'm just the same, pretty much. With a smaller stomach, whoop-de-doo, and now my knees hurt. So that's pretty much it. But, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.